Hi everyone, welcome to the Icehouse podcast. I'm Bryar Stewart, the community manager at the Icehouse, and today I am in Wellington, which is awesome, enjoying some in-person conversations. And today I have Hamish Preston with us. He is the CEO of Preston Corp and has been on our Owner Manager Programme. So thanks for being on the podcast today,
Thanks,
Hamish.
Bryar. Nice to be with you.
Yeah, looking forward to hearing all about the journey and all about the story. But before we do, I like to ask some quick fire questions just to get warmed up. All good? Nice. First one is, when are you most relaxed?
Probably when I'm doing things. I've been called an active relaxer before, and I like to be busy. So that's
great answer. Yeah. Morning or night person?
Definitely morning. Yeah.
Nice. What are you reading or listening to right now?
I don't do a lot of listening to podcasts or anything, but I'm reading Lee Child's Better Off Dead at the moment, which is takes me away from day-to-day reality, which is good.
Yeah, that's nice. First ever job?
I had to think about this, and I think it was a milk run when I was 10 or 12. When milk bottles were delivered in glass milk bottles to people's houses and things. So that was my very first job.
Yeah, I think that's probably the most common answer, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, most common answer that I've had. So it's interesting to hear. Room of 5 people or 100 people?
Probably depends on if you know them or not. If you know them, I'd prefer a room of 5 people because you can get really in depth and have some great conversations. If it's a room of people that I don't know, I'd like a room of 100. Then you can take the time to get to know different people, and you won't get on with everyone, but you can choose the 5 or so many people out of that 100 that you want to connect with.
That is a very well thought through answer to that question. Nice. Coffee order?
I'm not much of a coffee drinker, so I have to dumb it down with a bit of chocolate, so it's a bit of mochaccino really.
Nice.
For me.
Yeah, good on you. Cool. I'd love to hear, just tell us a bit about yourself, Hamish, what your passions are and what life looks like.
Sure. Well, as you said in the intro, my name is Hamish Preston. I'm the CEO of Preston Corp, and Preston Corp's a parent company for a few trading companies that we've got that sit under them. I'm 4th generation in the family business, which is pretty cool, and so I'm passionate about seeing that sort of live on for future generations as well. I've got 3 young kids coming up, and hopefully they'll get into the business one day, and at some point further down the track. So I'm just really passionate about seeing it continue and grow into the future.
That's so cool. And what does Preston Corp do? What are the products or services?
Well, Preston Corp is actually just a holding company as such, and we provide head office services to our trading companies. So within that, we've got AE Preston's Master Butchers, which is actually the first of the companies that started in 1904.
Oh wow!
My great grandfather started that, delivering meat around Wellington and with a horse and cart. So it was pretty cool. And he had about 10 or 12 butcher shops around Wellington, and then and a processing facility and things as well. And so we've carried that on. We've got a couple of retail stores now, and then we've got Ken Wilson Meats, which is a meat broking business, a meat selling business, which sells to Preston Master Butchers, and then we've got Cam Transport, which our transport and logistics arm, which supplies transport service to Preston's, to Ken Wilson Meats, and to a bunch of other clients around New Zealand. So it's a pretty big business. We've grown it up over the years, but we've sort of grown, and we started the transport business on the back of needing transport to our butcher shops, so we put that in, and then we've sort of just gone and grown externally from there.
Great way to build a business.
Yeah.
How many staff would be part of the company now?
Just over 130 now.
Wow. Wow.
Yep, that's amazing. Throughout New Zealand. Yeah,
that's awesome. That's great to hear. What's your career journey looked like? Did you jump into the family business from the get-go, or did you have a bit of a journey to get here?
Actually, everything I did was to try and get out of the family business.
Tends to be the way.
Because I worked in it from during school holidays and things from as far back as I can remember. We were always pulled in to help out in the butcher shop and things like that, and I wanted to escape. So after university, I spent 10 years in Japan.
Wow,
and lived
10
over
years
there,
in Japan.
Finally thought it was time to get serious about work and settle down and come back home. So I was between coming back from Japan and finding my dream job, and I started again working in the family business, and just found that I loved it, and I had a real passion for the people and things, and just wanted to carry it on from there. So that was 18 years ago now, and I'm still here. So
wow, that's a really cool story. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Quite cool for you to maybe begrudgingly go, okay, I'm going to be back working in the family business, but then we're actually going, hold on a second, I actually really like it here, and that the people were such a big part of it.
It was a bit of a light bulb moment for me, actually, because, I was looking for something, in tourism and things, because I had that Japanese experience and things, so I was looking for something along those sort of lines, and a few months in the office with the rest of the team, it was, this is actually where I want to be. So
cool.
It was really cool.
That's really nice to hear. And answers the next question, which is what was the aha moment that led, to you being part of the business? Yes, but do you know the story of what led to the business in general, which would have been Ken Wilson Meats, right?
Well, actually, Preston's came first.
Oh, okay.
Preston's came first, and then the opportunity actually to buy Ken Wilson Meats came up, and Ken Wilson Meats was our main supplier for our retail butcher shops.
Interesting, yeah.
So we just took that opportunity, we bought that and developed that, and as I said, the transport company then came along as well.
Cool.
It was all out of the want to supply our own retail butcher shops and control that supply chain, that we sort of branched out into all aspects of the supply chain.
You probably would have seen some really good benefits of being able to control that, especially in the recent years with supply chain struggles potentially.
It has been beneficial because we can guarantee our customers product when we need to. When it is in tight supply, we can prioritise that, because the Ken Wilson Meats part of the business, has got a lot of external customers as well, like supermarkets and butcher shops and processors and all the like. But we can filter product down to where we need it to when we're short supplied. Yeah,
awesome. That's really interesting. Cool. What's one thing you wish you knew at the start of the business journey?
Probably the importance of having really, really good people around you.
Yeah.
And we are very fortunate that we've got some great people around us. And we make a point of getting to know all our staff and things as well. It is a family business at the end of the day, even though we have quite a few staff. We still treat it like a family business, and we'll never go away from that. It's really important to me that we're looking after our staff like we would look after our normal family. So the importance of that, we've started, we came through, perhaps didn't have the right people in the right places right at the start, but we've shuffled things around, and now we've got some really great people on board.
Practically, what does that, sorry, going off script a bit, but what does that look like, building that great culture? Is it as simple as just really caring and, getting to know your people, asking them questions?
It's not as simple as just caring and things, because you need their feedback as well.
Yes.
You might think you're doing a wonderful job and you've got the backing of everybody, and we did a culture survey a number of years ago, and I thought I was doing really well and we had a great culture and things like that, and some of the answers that came out of that really set me back and thought, wow, I'm not doing it quite right, and really had to adjust my approach and really re-look at things, and that was a really good wake-up call for me. And we've just acquired another business in the Hawke's Bay, and we really underestimated the culture. We thought we could just bring a whole lot of people into our culture and it would be plain sailing. And the people aspect of it was probably what I underestimated the most.
Yeah.
So we've spent a bit of time bedding that down, and I'd like to think now that we're all on board and we're all moving in the same direction.
Cool. Yeah, that's really interesting. What's been a mountaintop moment and a deep valley challenge from the journey?
We have lots of mountaintop moments, and I sort of look at those moments where we've put a deal together with a customer, and we can benefit out of it and our customer benefits out of it, and it's a mutually beneficial relationship.
Yeah.
So those are sort of what I see as the mountaintop moments.
Works for both sides.
It works for both sides, and that's how we do all our business. It's on relationships. We don't enter into short-term one-off deals. We try and put longer-term contracts together where we can really work with people and grow their business as well as growing our own. And that's how we try and do it, all our business that way.
That's great. And any challenge and anything you've learnt from that challenge?
Well, I suppose the same challenges have been COVID over the last couple of years.
Yeah, of course.
But we've, having wonderful people around us, we've managed to, weather that storm as well as we could have, I think. And again, it comes down to the people, having that right culture in place. And I don't think I'd do anything differently.
Yeah, wow, that's pretty awesome to be able to say.
Yeah.
post-COVID, or you know what I mean by that, on the other side, sort of.
Yeah, well, hopefully we're on the other side.
Fingers crossed, that's for sure. What motivates you to get up in the morning, and what does a day in the life of Hamish look like?
I'm usually up fairly early because, as I said, I'm a morning person.
Yeah.
Usually at my desk by 6.
Wow, that is early.
Yeah, it's I love the mornings. It's a good time to get things done. It's a good time to see what's happening in the operation. All our staff start early as well. They work extremely hard. So it's a good time to be around them without too many other distractions. Your phone's not ringing, your emails are not coming in. So, so I spend the morning. We've got several different sites around as well, so I'll spend a bit of time on each site with my people. I try and spend a lot of time with the people because at the end of the day it is all about them and how they can help you grow the business as well. And that's, I see my role as more about the people than anything else, to be honest, and growing them through. So that's where I spend a lot of my time with the people. And I'll try and get out of the office a little bit early if I can. I've got, as I said, 3 kids at home playing different sports and different times and things like that, so I'll try and go to as much of that as I can, just to be involved with their upbringing as well.
Of course, that's really an awesome answer. How did you first hear of the Icehouse, and what led to you saying yes to attending the Owner Manager Programme?
Well, I was new into the CEO role, and I was talking with our relationship manager at the bank, and and they suggested, I was looking for some sort of training to do, and they suggested the Owner Manager Programme, and so I investigated it, and it was a bit of a no-brainer really. The fact that it was when I did it, it was a live-in 3-day a month sort of course, and I like the idea of sort of being focused for 3 days out of your business, but on your business, if you like. And with like-minded people, so it was a bit of a no-brainer to enrol, really.
And how did you find it? Did you?
I loved it.
You loved it, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Any key takeaways or things that stood with you?
We're a pretty mature business, as I've said. So we had a lot of that sort of structure and things that they taught in the first part of the Icehouse OMP. We had a lot of that in place already, but it was reassuring to know that what we were doing was sort of best practice, and that's what a lot of other people were looking to do as well. And then one of the main takeaways I got was that to reach out when you need for help. I was sitting in the room with 24 other business people, and the wealth of knowledge in that room is amazing. So rather than sit here and stew on something myself, I can reach out to them as a community and say, look, what would you do in this situation? And they're all so willing to offer advice. So that's been one of the most beneficial things out of it. Yeah,
that's so awesome to hear. And power of community,
it's
that,
huge.
Yeah, it is huge. That cohort, just the conversations that I have, and the cohorts that we've been running for 20 years now, and so there's so many cohorts that are very close, and for many years have bounced ideas off each other, even 10 years post some of their programs, which is pretty cool to hear. So it's awesome to hear you've sort of had the same experience.
Yeah, we're still doing that now, and we still have, we've had 2 catch-ups, one in Auckland and one in Wellington, and we've got another one in Christchurch later this year, and we get a good turnout from the people that, out of 24 would get 18, 19 there, which is great.
That's a really great turnout. Yeah, awesome, love to hear that. Have you implemented anything into your lifestyle since doing the program?
Probably some things around the resilience piece we did. Just being active, and as I said before, I'm an active relaxer, so I do like to get out and about and do things, but a bit more of the fitness sort of thing, and getting involved with different sports and stuff like that as well, just to keep the mind, keep the body active, keeps the mind fresh.
Cool, great answer, that's nice. How important is, we've talked a bit about it already, but how important is that community piece to you and business networks, and what do you do to stay connected?
Yeah, I think that whole piece around that community is massive. It's really important for me. It's, as I said, like-minded people you can bounce ideas off, and I regularly use it. Reach out to different people within that cohort that I was on. And as I said, they're really willing to help. So it is very, very important. And the way it was structured is there's no like businesses on the same course, so you can reach out, and they're happy to share the information. And it doesn't go any further than when they share it with me, but it's confidential, and they're happy to share it because there's no conflict. It's not sharing any industry knowledge.
Exactly that, and you've built that strong trust and bond on the program, right? So everyone's in it for the same reasons. Really cool to hear. Awesome. What does the future look like for Preston Corp, and what excites you most about it?
The immediate future is really, really exciting. We've got a new processing facility opening in a couple of months' time. So we're just busy kitting that out and getting that going. We're busy bedding down our recent acquisition of a Hawke's Bay transport business. So that's really exciting as well. I'm excited about, the people that we have working for us and looking after them and looking after, their families and things as well. I feel that I'm hugely responsible for that, and that does really resonate with me. I can't emphasise enough about the people, to be honest. But further forward from in the next few months and the short term, we've got a lot going on. We've got a 5-year plan to work towards. So there's some really exciting stuff in there, and we do have growth aspirations. We put ourselves in a good position to realise some of those opportunities, which is fantastic.
What a key theme has been in this conversation is just the people side of it. Really obvious that you deeply care about the people that work for you and that you work with, which is just a really nice point I wanted to touch on, because people are businesses is with people. Absolutely. But also just some of the conversations I've been having recently around staff shortages and the talent climate at the moment. Looking after your people is absolutely crucial to run a successful business. And
I'd like to think we're not doing it just because it's hard to employ staff at the moment. I'd like to think we're doing it because for all the right reasons. Like, as I said, we're a family business, and we try and treat staff like their family anyway. You can't just do it when it suits. You've got to look after people all the time.
Totally. Spoken from a business with generational impact and amount of time behind it, which is really exciting. That's cool. Oh, well, thank you so much for this conversation.
No, that's right. Thank you.
Really appreciate it, and it's just good to be able to highlight different businesses in different areas of New Zealand too. So appreciate your time, Hamish.
No problem. Thanks, Bryar. Appreciate it.